Day we are here. Let me turn that down or we're going to get some feedback. Welcome everybody. Yeah, I know. I hear it now. They tell you in Zoom now that this meeting is being recorded. Yeah,
I know that
really?
was weird. It's like I've
That's
seen it
weird.
twice now, and I
It's
never
like,
saw that before. I was like, okay.
didn't yeah, we know that. We are well aware of that, but they need to tell us. So anyway, welcome everybody. Let me on behalf of my co-host, Miss Trina, how are you doing, my dear?
I am super good, and I hope you are as good as I am.
Honey, if I was any better, I would exceed the highest realm of what perfection would be in an imperfect construct.
I love it.
You
I
know,
love
so
it.
so we just speak favor of everyone and Bosto, big hugs to everyone. Y'all are getting addicted to these hugs. And now
Oh,
Trina, they removed the restrictions where we can hug everyone again.
I know, isn't it
So,
wonderful? And maybe this is what helped manifest that.
you know what? Yeah, I believe that. The
Yeah, because
strongest
it's
intent.
all about what we
Yeah.
do and what we
Yeah.
think about
Yeah.
and
I like
what
he's
we
cool.
create. And when
Yeah,
we do this, we're doing big virtual YouTube hug, and that's
we
brilliant.
are. And that's what peace is about. My guy, he's the sky pilot. So
Yeah.
off you go, dude. Happy birthday to Miss
Jenny.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Jennifer, good to see you, my dear. Divine 44. So I just want to say happy birthday. I think she's getting younger like the rest of us.
Oh, absolutely.
It age is relative to the
It
inside.
really is.
I mean, you look fabulous,
Thank
and
you, Rain, and
I'm
so do you.
well, we're and it shows because
Spirit.
the condition of the heart
Yeah.
reflects to the outside. If you meet people who think they're old, they'll
They are.
look old.
Yeah.
I mean, they really will. I knew the Boones, Pat Boone. I knew his daughter, Debbie Boone, personal friend,
Mhm.
back in the day. And the one thing I loved about Pat Boone was that he said it. He says, he says, if I think I am becoming old, then my body's going to respond to what I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our
And
water, our water is conscious. So
yeah,
what you
yeah.
tell it, it programs your water, and you're 90%, 86% water or whatever. So
I lay
yeah.
hands on myself every
Yeah.
morning. Yeah,
Talk to that water.
yeah, dude. Love you, baby.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for getting
working
around
out. I
doing
still
your
get to
job.
work out in the gym, and it still feels good. And
Yeah.
so yeah, life is good. So you're looking fabulous. So I want to promote. You're going to be on tonight
Yes.
with Ryder Lee over on Raised by Giants, 9 p.m. Eastern. So I'm sure that was a fabulous encounter.
It really was. It was great to talk to him. He's just wonderful. So, yes, it was
Yes,
wonderful.
he is.
We were
He
on for a while. So,
oh,
y'all get a cup of coffee and enjoy the ride.
is it one that, is it a 1, 2, or 3 cup?
Probably at least, probably maybe two. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
I know it was well over an hour. I don't know how long it went, but we were on for a while. So,
So just make sure you bring some snacks. That's all.
yeah.
We have a great deal of love and admiration for Ryder Lee,
Oh,
amongst other, the youth here is well represented.
yeah.
It really is. There's a diversity of age, and it shows you that no matter where you stand in the spectrum, we can still blend together.
Yes, it
Yeah.
so easily.
Yeah.
So, I've always resonated. I can always connect with the younger kids, and I can always connect. I've always been able to connect with people outside of my age group, and
Hmm.
that's a wonderful thing. It is a wonderful
It's
thing.
Yeah, I mean, I plan on going over to the other side looking good, baby. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta say.
I'm just like I want. I was always shown Earth changes the auric field. So
Uh-huh.
when you leave the body, when you come in with an auric imprint, um, you leave, and when you return, uh, they show you the changes in the aura, and it's like there's new colors, and they're
Yes.
they're visible, and there's a certain identification of being now what is deemed Earth Angel. So it's
Well,
pretty
speaking
cool.
of colors, everyone knows Sanji.
Yes,
Hello,
Sanji.
Sanjay.
Sanji.
Sanjay sits up here in the co-pilot seat. And Trina, you captured, I just have to show this to everyone because
It
it
was
kind of,
awesome. I
it
was
is
like,
an
wow.
awesome picture, man. So here you go, folks. This is Sanji. Uh, when was this, Trina? And
Um,
this blows me away. I just got to tell you, look at this.
it was just a few weeks ago when you pulled Sanji out and you were talking about light and you were putting stuff through his head, but that was when you
Oh,
first held
yeah.
him up. It was before you did anything. You were like, "This is Sanji, everyone," and you were talking
Yeah.
about Sanji, and I just caught that. I was like, "Whoa!" I just saw a rainbow shoot out of Sanji's head,
Y'all
and look at
seeing
that,
this? There
the third
is
eye in the
coming
prism.
right out of the third eye. Look at this.
Isn't that magical? It shows the connection to the light to the skull
I
from outside
mean,
the brain.
look at that, folks.
Perfect prism. Perfect. Look at that rainbow. Just
And
wow.
I wasn't shining anything on it at this
No,
point. I was
no.
just holding it.
Yep. Just holding it.
See, folks, there's substance to this stuff now.
There
Well,
is.
Trina, this was it quite took me when I saw this because it captured the energy that this crystal skull is. It's amazing. My wife can walk.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that is Sanji is powerful. That's why
Look at that.
I was like, Brenda, I don't think this can go in your house. I really don't think you can handle the energy this thing throws because it's potent.
It is. It is. I'll be working and I'll look up and it's almost like there's that moment of a momentary hypnotic trance, because you can look into the eyes of this crystal and it
Get
will,
downloads.
yeah, here you go, folks.
Yes, they'll give you
And I can see it
information.
again. Look at there. It's got
Yes.
us. Yeah, look at that. So, wow. All right. Well, Trina, this is $1 million shot. This is just incredible. I just wanted to share it.
I was like, wow, I got to send this
I
to
was like,
Wayne. You won't
all
even
right,
believe
all
this
right.
one.
Mind sufficiently blown. Thank you very much.
It's so funny. I
Thanks.
get that once in a while. They're like, pay attention. And I'm like, what? And then and I have to rewind, pay attention. I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I looking at here? And then I was like, oh, snap. I saw that. But yeah, my higher self is so awesome with stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you pay attention to that because that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
really important, when, it's like, gee, yeah.
Don't disregard those little nudges. Yeah, got to pay
Yeah.
attention because it's subtle.
A lot
Yeah.
of people are going, yeah, that was really
Mhm.
cool. Yeah, it is cool. It's like,
Gee, just
what do you do? Uh,
right.
yeah. So anyway, and Brian was, it was Saturday was his birthday.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Oh, have
I
such
don't
a
know how
wonderful
young
day.
he
I sent
was.
him so much happy birthday love. Yes.
Ah,
Miss
yeah.
him.
Drink him if you got him. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is we have a
He
Master
told me,
Skull.
I think
What's that?
something really, really potent's going to happen for this eclipse energetically.
So that
And
is tomorrow.
yeah, and he was really excited about this. So
And I know that there is some scuttlebutt out there. Let's see. I think this is supposed to be a blood moon as well. Is that right?
blood moon, super moon, lunar eclipse. Whoa.
You
And
know,
it's in Brian's house in Gemini.
well, you see, that's in my
Uh,
house as well. So,
yeah, it's the
uh,
birthday. It's like
you
he's
know,
like, my birthday, my energy. I was like, oh yes, bring it on, Brian.
so is because Gemini is not until June, right?
Yeah,
And
no, it's now. Brian was a Gemini.
no, because I'm a Gemini
Yeah, but it starts on the 22nd. The
of
cusp
May.
is 22nd or the
Oh, okay.
23rd.
There we
Yeah,
go. There we go.
yeah.
Yep,
So
that
he
little
was
time
right, like
travel. See?
yeah, first or second degree, but you're probably like in the middle, 16th
So
degree or whatever.
you're trying to
Yeah,
cram time into a box.
yes, yes.
Let me just tell you, it doesn't work.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
let's see what
Both.
else, huh?
You are both the Gemini twins.
Yeah, and Jenny is a Gemini, so there is a lot of Geminis about here. I know Amber Dawn is a Gemini as well, and yeah, yeah.
Geminis are the communicators.
Well,
Yeah.
and you get two of us.
Yes.
That's why with Geminis we're never bored because we can always talk to the other.
Absolutely. And
Seriously.
we all have that, but you guys have it stronger. It's like your gift is that
And
communication.
with all the intensity of what is taking place, and we're clearly in it. I mean, you
We're
know,
in it.
yeah, I mean, it's, we can talk about all the changes that are taking place, and they're numerous.
Oh
But no doubt things have changed and are continuing to change.
yeah. Mhm.
So I thought when this came out yesterday, and I'll give credit to Ben Davidson. He was the one who brought it out on his show yesterday, and I looked into it and I thought, now this is really interesting because a lot has been spoken about Atlantis. You have memories yourself
Yep.
of being there.
Mhm.
You've had people like Edgar Casey. Um, Many people have prophesied about Atlantis. The earliest writings, Plato. I have that up, by the way, because what Plato had to say was very interesting. So, again, I guess you could just say, depending on your point of view, we are in the end time of something. I think we're in the transition from one epoch into a new epoch, and it's like being on the threshold of a dream.
I think
Y-
it's a changing of gods.
that, and then that could be very well true as well. I
'Cause, yeah,
mean,
each zodiac sign is one of these creator gods. This is
yeah,
there's
and eventually, eventually, we got to spin the wheel and get a good one.
yeah, well, this is Aquarius. This is I know, Wayne. This should be fabulous.
Well,
Because
it
we
should be
are
because the
no
last one
more.
sucked.
Yeah,
Was that
well, because it was
Taurus?
all about I believe. When
Yeah.
you believe, belief is it can go in a really positive pole or a negative pole because if your belief is based on a program, that's not a good belief because it was programmed. But if it's an organic, inspired um, belief through seeking, that's a positive polarized belief. So belief is
Yeah.
both, it's bad or good. But yeah, no more believing in what people tell you. Now you're going to be able to have direct experience, which
In,
involves I know.
Now that's
Nobody needs
interesting.
to tell me crap because I felt it, I saw it, I experienced it with my own being. Nobody needs to tell me nothing because I now know personally. And a knowing, knowing is gnosis.
And a knowing is different than a belief. I mean,
It is.
yesterday we
Yes.
busted a I I knew, when you get information that becomes, well, it's called cognitive dissonance. It is because, you know, this guy is up there and he's saying that there's no hell, there's no heaven, there's no
Right.
soul. And that bust, because many paradigms are built on that cube.
Absolutely.
They are. And a cube
Absolutely.
has six different sides to it.
Yes. And if you open it up, it's a cross. Again, four corners, four elements, path of creation.
And
Earth,
the story
fire.
has been hijacked immensely, whatever the story was. But I'd like how you say it. So, a knowing is,
Different.
and I when I used to teach in sales, I used to tell people that when it becomes real to you, that's when it's going to become real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
anchors.
I
It
mean,
oh, yeah.
there's so much to this.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
tying this into then now, the stories are, and we can thank the CIA for this,
Thank you.
that they have found Atlantis. And let me pull up
Mhm.
where Atlantis is. It isn't where we thought, but apparently now that they've done the work, and I'm going to show everyone the document. So let me get this up. Here we go. There we are. So there it is, Trina.
Mm.
This is in Africa. It's called the Eye of Africa. This is a shot. It's huge. And by all descriptions, they are saying that this is, in fact, matches where Atlantis would have been. And this is an artist's rendition of what Atlantis looked like. And you can see for the time and the era, this is highly advanced. But then again, these people were building pyramids and stuff back then, things that
Oh,
we can't do today. Um,
oh yeah. The technology
and
was different. The internet was different. Everything was crystalline based.
Yep, and the story goes that there was a huge crystal in the center of this, and there you can take a good look at it.
Wayne, the locals there, I think, call that the Eye of Sauron, just
I
like
believe
from
that's another
Lord of
name
the
for it.
Rings.
Yep.
Yeah, just like Lord of the Rings. And
Mm-hmm.
that would be, think about it, the red glowing eye.
Yep.
That was the crystalline technology until it imploded.
Well, and and if you go by the catastrophe theory, and it's called catastrophism, we're at that point. We're right on the precipice of it. And Atlantis got hit by whether it was an impact from a comet or whatever, but it got smacked by a tidal wave that apparently came up from the southwest and was met by another one coming in from the northeast, I believe,
Mhm,
and wiped it out.
mhm,
So I have, for our viewing pleasure,
mhm.
we never keep it boring. So this is the first document that was brought out, the Adam and Eve story by Chan Thomas. This is the story of that we now know that it's going to happen. This story by Chan Thomas is exactly what happens with a magnetic reversal. And I'm trying to pull into it. And if you read this, and I think most people, you should have already read this, been well versed with it. Like Noah 6,500 years ago, like Adam 11,500 years ago, this too will come to pass. And this is the story of what happens when the magnetic poles cross. In our case, like if you look at the north, it moved again last month nearly 5 miles in 1 month. When it
Wow.
crossed the 40-degree latitude line, yeah. So how does this get to Atlantis? And by the way, folks, read this. It's it's an eye opener, because unless you're living in Colorado, it's going to be a real rough day.
Mhm,
It is. So, Trina, here is the document. Um, this is 1967, March. They were doing a number of projects. And this one is very interesting because they were doing, and they redacted this, even under the Freedom of Information Act. They're not going to let us know specifically what they found. While the scientific aspects of
wow.
the survey are totally unclassified and available to the worldwide scientific community, what? you know?
Right.
Yeah. So I want to quickly get down to this to show you. This is, by the way, Project Magnet. Uh, yeah, it's
Wow.
uh-huh, yeah. So Project Magnet was a very interesting operation for the CIA. They know the event is coming. They've known about this event for at least documented since probably right after World War II, most likely with the event of the Galactic Council that came down and met with Eisenhower. I think it was pretty well confirmed at that point. Um, that something was going to be happening to our magnetic poles. And here is the flight logs of all of these that they were doing in mapping magnetic anomalies. And check this out as we get down to where they've actually mapped this out. It's quite interesting, quite boring also, but they were detailed. Um, and you can see, and here we go. So here is where they went, Trina. You can see that they crossed the United States.
Wow.
They went down here to Central America. They went out over here where now we know this is what's called the South Atlantic Anomaly. Right over here of Atlantis. They went down over Africa. You can see exactly where the plane went and what they were mapping. And then they came to Atlantis. And
Wow.
what's really interesting about this is look at the grid pattern.
It's like a computer chip.
Yeah. And,
That's what it
so
is.
you can see where the plane came in. You can see exactly. And they were mapping these anomalies from what now the CIA absolutely believes, or at least in their research, is Atlantis. And you can see this anomaly here is just very weird. Anyway, thought you might like to see that.
That's profound, Wayne.
It's really strange. It is. And
It shows how when the crystals were set up right, how it literally forms a complex of programmable stored access to memory and function. It's all done wirelessly. Oh, that's
people are
wow.
getting it.
Bringing back memories. Wow,
Someone
that
says a motherboard. Yeah.
it is. It's
Um,
exactly what it is.
it looks very well close to it.
It is exactly what it is. That's
Yeah.
exactly the word. That's wow. Wow.
So
And you know what else I heard too?
what?
Because it's directly over the roots of a big, big, big old tree. That's how it would travel through the earth, was through the root systems in
Ooh.
the trees.
Mm.
Yeah,
And that's another one of those mysteries. I mean, it's fascinating to me because we know there was a time when gargantuism was Earth. It
yeah.
may very well be that Earth was, 1.5 times bigger than what it is now. It would have had to have a less dense atmosphere because gravity would have as we all know, pulls big things down.
You know,
Um,
that might be a really good focus for us, is to um, replicate and bring forth the original Lemurian templates. That was before Atlantis. Those are
mhm.
like those are probably going to be the most beautiful Earth we could imagine. It would be unbelievably pristine.
Isn't it odd that we live on the planet? We call this our home.
Uh-huh.
That may be debatable, but isn't it odd that we find it fanciful imagination to think that this planet at one time was not the seven continents that are out there. It was just one.
Uh-huh.
Um, Really unsure as to where the water played in all of this. I don't know. I look at what's happening up in Iceland. Have you been following any of the videos at Iceland?
No, what's going on?
Wow. I mean, it's mesmerizing. Well, Iceland sits on two tectonic plates,
Yeah.
and the plates are and the eruptions that they've had, I've never seen as much magma. It's filling up the valleys there. And
Oh,
when I say filling up the valleys, Trina, I'm talking 200 feet.
oh my God.
200 feet
Wow.
is this lava. And it's rivers. They tried to build this huge earthen dike the side of a mountain, and so they could channel the lava away from where it was it was heading, and it's pumping out the volcano now that's active. It has a heartbeat. They said that you can actually see the times when it will ebb, and then all of a sudden when it gets going, it will shoot 1,000+ feet up in the air.
Wow. Oh
I've
my
never,
God.
it's just, and it's heading to the ocean, but yeah. So
Wow, guys, we are in it.
we
See?
are in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always known when the volcanism starts, that this was when you're in it. So we're in it.
So I was meditating and I had this crazy vision of activity awakening on the West Coast, particularly up in the Northwest,
Mhm.
from Alaska down
Mhm.
through British Columbia, all the way down, into Oregon. And there's well over, I think, 40 plus volcanoes. Did you
Yeah.
know there were that many volcanoes?
Yeah, there's many.
Yeah,
And
if the
it seems like it is starting to show a wake up
yes,
pattern.
if it starts waking up,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it is globally, but it's going to eventually come here. And if we've got these kind of magnetic anomalies, well, we might be in for it.
I see so many people have memories of regressed back times. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I don't know about reincarnation. I because I don't know if you're reconstituted. You're actually incarnating.
You're never the same twice.
Yeah, I mean, you would be
Every time.
incarnating,
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's your spirit and your soul. Like I said, those are the things you have to put on to come into this density. Um, little suit you put on. But every time you incarnate, you're a different being. You're a different person, but you're still the same person in the core. But the world forms you. It forms what you become. It literally,
It's
the world
interesting.
forms you.
A lot of people had a problem with, what the Jewish tradition is, and to think that the Jewish tradition translated over into modern Christianity, that there is no soul. You die, you're gone, lights
Yeah.
out, baby. And here's the thing. I wrote someone because they were really upset with this. They were a devout Christian, and they're just saying, I can't accept this, I can't accept this, but I have to. And here's the thing, Earth is a big place. And there are many other cultures besides the Hebrews. I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, come on, folks. You have
Well,
Mesoamerica.
what if they're a hybrid and hybrids don't have the same as the organics? There's so many things we don't understand. So
Oh, yeah.
that could be true for that species.
And we're not all the same on the inside.
No, we're not. We're
I have
not.
a I have a I have a professor who's writing, and I think he's going to do a paper on this.
Yes.
That he said how observant to the unobservant, he said, is that we assume we're all the same. Because if I walked up to you and let's say we didn't know each other, I would say, well, that's a striking woman.
Mhm.
And, you would think that, well, that's because we're both the same on the inside, that we would recognize that. But maybe it's not the same. Maybe I could have been a different species. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're all first and foremost light, but light is created with a function. It's like it has a purpose, it has
Hmm.
has an original thought behind it. So with that, we're shot out of this organic light source thing that's
Wow.
experiencing creation, creating a creation, but you're the hands of that creation because it experiences through you. It experiences through everything it creates. So it's a beautiful dance of learning about creation itself. And that's why the material, realms were put into place and form so we could see.
Well, there's clearly obviously another different realms. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm doing an expose right now on the phenomenon of shadow people,
Uh-huh.
that they do exist. Probably people in our audience may have experience with shadow people. I know, excuse me, one family, I won't tell, but they had a problem. They actually had, and the first part of their family that recognized it was the dog.
Yeah.
They had a dog, and the dog began to act very strange, would not go down into the basement
Yep.
where before it would.
Yep.
And the first son, they had three children, and it was the youngest one who the shadow person literally came out and manifested before,
Yeah.
and freaked her out, and rightfully so, because then it moved from the basement up into the house itself
Uh-huh.
and began to show up in the bedrooms.
Yep.
And yeah, so and the question that I'm looking at, because I want to get in and get more hands-on on this, is that, all right, what are we dealing with here? Are we dealing with energy? Obviously, it's an energy that, number one, rejects light, or it could very well be absorbs all light. That what makes it dark, black. Um,
Yeah. I
but
think
they've
it's feeding, Wayne. I think you're right about some type of, yeah. It's trying to
Yeah.
get light
So
because
is that a human? Or, that's my
probably
question.
it
Did this
probably is.
person live in the temporal, corporeal form? And what caused the transmutation not to take place, where typically you would be going into another realm, but somehow or another you have retained, and now you have transmuted into an energy that I don't know what the heck you call it.
I think it's super simple if you think about it as a battery. Positive polarized or negative polarized. Negative pulls, it draws. Positivity, it sparks, it
So
shoots.
that would be in the contention of, again, that black absorbs. See, white, people don't understand the difference of the two. Black absorbs, white repels.
Yes, white is absence of color and black is
Black is
all,
the assumption of all.
all,
Yeah.
all, all.
So have you heard about the butterfly people?
No, but that's so strange because I've been hearing for 3 days that I need to take a ride on the butterfly and all this weird butterfly stuff. And then you just, what?
So
What?
it's
Synchronicity,
very
let's go.
limited,
Tell me
but
about the butterfly people, Wayne.
well, the phenomenon that took place by well over several hundred witnesses was the Joplin tornado that took place about a decade ago. Um, it was an EF5. Winds, they said, were topping close to 300 miles an hour. As the tornado moved through downtown Joplin, multiple people reported that when the roofs of their house were lifted off and everything was being sucked up, that these people, these beings of 7 to 8 feet, butterfly wings, were literally coming in and sheltering both the children and the parents and even the pets. That
There's where you get the
multiple
angels from.
multiple witness accounts said that there would be several of the butterfly people that, as they spread their wings over the family, one particular family that was in a closet that had basically the roof, everything had disintegrated. They said that there was a light that appeared, and there was no sign of the tornado. They could see the tornado wheeling around, but
That it was calm.
yeah, there was perfect calm.
Yep. That's the
And
power.
it's very interesting. And I cannot find that much reporting around the world of these beings.
I think those are the reports that people talk about angelic, the angelic interference, the angelic
Well,
protection,
it's
divine
interesting because the one
intervention.
little girl said, about the angel, the angelic, she says, Mommy, she said, that was a butterfly. She says, I
Yeah,
know an angel. So
right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. These are big, huge butterfly beings, and they're literally, think about it. Butterflies can transmute anything.
Hmm.
They're known for transformation. It's totally about transformation. So it means that their power is to manipulate matter.
Hey,
So they can
Crystal, how you doing?
protect you. That makes so much sense to me. That's beautiful.
So when
And
the monarchs are flying through, because they come up from your part of the country, they come up from Arizona and then New Mexico, and they follow the mountains up through here.
Mhm.
It's a great technique when you're trying to meditate to focus, is that if you can begin to meditate and get into a state of that, theta waves, that when the butterflies begin to land on you, you know you're in the right
frequency.
frequency.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's
I love
true.
this butterfly information, Wayne.
Well,
Great.
I got to bring something to the table,
I love it. I love it. I
you
love
know,
it. And it's
because
so funny, the synchronicities. I've been hearing about butterflies for
you
2 days
see,
straight.
the Moody Blues on the album To Our Children, Children's Children, it says in the beginning of the lyrics, and it says, with the force of 10 billion butterfly sneezes.
Oh,
I mean, I just, and there was days when way back when, anyway, yeah. So,
so
and the thing about butterflies, I've done this myself, is that they'll take their mandibles and they will literally tap themselves if you're sensitive enough to feel the mandible. And it's almost like they're, at times, I tell you, it was almost if they were I felt they were communicating just by the sensitive touch of their mandibles. It was just, it was fascinating.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think you're right
Yeah.
about that. Really do.
Um, yeah. So it's true. I mean, there is so much around us, Trina, that we just don't pay attention.
This is what I keep seeing is that understanding the wisdom and the tapping of a butterfly's mandibles. These are the things that we forgot that are really important to this world. Because this reality is where you are supposed to blend with nature. That's why it's a nature construct, and that's why it is so beautiful and so diverse and so crazy. And it's a system
Someone
of energy.
said kisses. I could see that.
Yeah,
Danny
kisses.
B said I had a hummingbird within inches of my that is I love it when a hummingbird will come close to you like that. And
Remember, Wayne, I had pictures of it in my hand.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And the dove
And
too, the white dove that came and sat on my lap. I was like, whoa, hi. Wow.
what's happening?
Yeah.
you know, and that's how I love it. Some people say we're in the butterfly effect now. There is something really going on. I if we're being impacted by this change, so is the animal kingdom, so is the plant kingdom.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really am. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah. Pray for the animals and send them some love and gratitude.
Well, we're seeing changes in wildlife up here. It's interesting. We have had such a cold spring and a wet one that it's killing trees because the trees are confused. They don't know that it's time to bud out. We still have trees that haven't fully leafed out here yet.
Yep.
I mean, it's just, and you're going, okay, so it appears that maybe nature is getting confused as to what the seasons are.
Yeah, because the rhythms are changing.
How has it been hot down there where you are yet?
Yeah. Well, it's beautiful. It's
I
just so
mean, all right,
nice.
let me
Yeah.
rephrase the question because hot to me is not would be hot to you.
Correct.
Are
Yeah.
you,
No, we're like we are right now in beautiful temperatures. It feels like springtime. It does not feel
yeah,
like
I read that y'all are kind of even below normal and,
yes, we're loving it. I'm like, yes, this is an unbelievable
see,
May. Because
yeah.
I mean, May for us, we can be anywhere from 90s, high 90s, all the way up to 110, 111. So it's really
And people
cool
like that.
right now.
It's like, yikes,
Yeah, it's
no, you
beautiful
know,
wind, the cool breeze. It's just not normal May weather. It's
yeah,
cooler.
and it's going to get even June is going to be very cool up here. I mean, next week we're only expecting highs in the mid to upper 60s.
Wow.
And yeah, that's like 10 degrees below normal. So
I
yeah.
noticed too, I think
Um,
summer was lasting longer, like it was still hot in September. And I was like, it should be cooling down. And even last year for Halloween, it was warm. So
we
yeah,
didn't plant a garden this year. I knew instinctively that the growing season is going to be less than 90 days up here. And for tomatoes to really come in, you need at least 110 days to really get a good harvest. And last year, September 9th, we got the freak cold that came in and we hit lows of 7 degrees.
I remember that. That was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
weird.
it's just weird. So the change is on, girl.
So on. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's gonna get critical, people. It
yeah.
really,
That,
it really.
and I don't like the. There's two things as an observer. You can observe and prepare, or you can be carried away by the.
Chaos.
Thank you. That's a good word. Chaos. Yeah. Um, and I just refuse to do this. I mean, I listen. Lynn and I have taken the position. We love each other. We've had a great life, and if this event happens and we're still here,
Mhm.
um, we have no plans to survive anything.
Mhm.
I don't think I want to because
Right?
I mean I'm just being honest. And this is not a death wish. I mean we
No.
love life. I am the guy who loves to.
You
You
know,
know,
what if though, Wayne? What if? What if what I was shown when I was 10 years old is what happened?
and that is a splitting, right? Of
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're gonna wake up in one of the organic templates of Earth that's you can't comprehend. It's so beautiful.
Hmm.
And we're supposed to be the new guardians of Earth and set up the new societies and the new governments and the new everything to where it's a service to others system, and it would be completely outlawed and forbidden for any kind of service to self behavior on the planet. And the first authority would be Earth herself, would be the ultimate authority over what
So
happens
speaking of Earth,
to the body.
um, and this is just my take.
Mhm.
Um, Earth is going to need time to heal herself. Man has really scarred her up. I
And you
mean,
know what I've
you
heard though,
know,
Wayne, with that? The only way that Earth can heal from what man has done to her body is if man steps up to the plate and gives her the healing she so deserves. So the healing will come from us.
do you think, and this is why we have our show, A Second Look, because I am becoming more of the position that, and I'll just be brutally honest with everybody, I don't think sapiens are going to be saved. I think that we have proven that we are incapable of change. I believe sapiens are, we're more animalistic than we want to admit to. And
Mhm.
the problem is that there is a bifurcation taking place because I think there are more and more of us who just look at it and go, all right, if we can't save all of humanity, maybe we can save a remnant of humanity.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think when you think about, okay, creation and this creation position in third dimension is always polarized. So you're always going to have negative forces operating against positive forces because that's what keeps the system operating. And this is a natural nature construct, which is entropy based, which is cycles of birth and death.
Hmm.
So through that, it's like the phoenix, the rising up from the ashes. Through the pain and the suffering of these experiences, it expands you to different levels of love. And it doesn't even make logical sense, but that's how it works on the scale of positive and negative interactions. So as deep as you can dive is as high as you can fly. That's how it goes. So
So go
you
ahead.
learn here.
Yeah,
We're
we
and
do
this is
learn.
a nature construct. So you come here to learn nature because nature is its own wisdom.
So let's take that a step further. The problem I have here, and I love my body. I mean, I think that whoever designed these,
Super
the
smart.
engineering, man, I mean, high five. I mean, yeah, I could think of some
So
improvements.
brilliant.
So
Yeah.
here we come into this realm. It's called Earth. We think it's so beautiful, and it is. But there seems to be one element that I can't get my spirit guides to talk about, and why is the need for all living things to consume other living things? You look at the plant kingdom has to have the animal kingdom, which feeds off it. Otherwise, the plants would overrun the planet. And the animals have to consume the plants, which then gives them energy. And then here comes man. And then man, being grossest of them all, feeds off both the animals and the plants. And yet, if you hear about the ETs, the grays, they say that their skin is engineered to pull out all the nutrients of the atmosphere and be completely in harmony with nature.
But yet
So
they can't reproduce.
it sucks to be them, but anyway,
Well, Wayne, you can only make so many copies before it becomes so distorted it does no longer work.
boy, isn't that true? You could say that about
So this is
us.
the
Yeah,
difference. The
yeah.
difference. That's the difference, is because they cannot produce a new body. They can only replicate.
Okay, so
We
let's go to the
create.
point of you and I. Why is it necessary that we have to consume in order to exist?
I think that that's part of the nature construct, and that allows you to go through the amnesia, because if you came down here with full awareness, you wouldn't be able to learn anything. You
Do we
wouldn't
learn
learn
something
anything.
from this? And I'm being very serious, ladies and gentlemen. I really am, because
Yeah.
what is it that we're actually learning other than the fact that every time, yeah, I be candid with you, Lynn and I have gotten to the point where food is boring.
Yes. I
God,
would ask,
it just is a pain in the ass, you know?
I would ask the Lord that, what is this point? This is stupid all the time, all the time.
Yeah, I have to eat constantly in order to sustain
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
And just the emotions and the density and the darkness and the magnetics of this place and the death and
Well,
everything
it's hard for
equal.
me to eat meat now. I mean, even fish, I'm having to going, okay, I know the adrenochrome is in, the meat, definitely. I know that, and the
But
vegetables,
there,
sometimes they're not even vegetables.
yeah, there's a certain wisdom to nature that activates a different layer of sensory. So when I would ask why this and why so hard and why the death, he says, because nothing is really, truly ever real until you feel it. So we come here to feel pain,
Boy, don't we?
feel it. For
And
reals, I was like, are we nuts? He was like, in essence, yes, you are very brave, because it is not easy.
but
It is
pain is
hard.
actually the best thing for these bodies, because if we didn't feel pain, we would wreck these bodies.
Pain activates your immune system. Pain puts you
Yeah, it
back
does.
together, and pain teaches you what not to do again.
Yeah, yeah, and it does. I mean, you
Nothing's
learn very
real
quickly,
till you feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm
yeah.
telling you, nothing's real till you feel it. So you come here to learn how to feel with amnesia. You don't remember where you are, what you come from. You don't remember any of those things. So you can fully test your free will. And nothing is real till you feel it. And when you come here, what you choose, you will feel the repercussions of it. So it's a totally different system of learning. As I said, this is Harvard. Only
We have
master.
to be taking something with us to the overside in the transition,
You
because,
do. You
yeah,
take that ability to feel.
yeah.
It's that feeling part that's has an awareness of matter, because matter is different than the light of the different realms.
Well, in
Matter is
the
unique.
Enlightenment, that's why they said the gods failed, was that they could not feel like humans. They could not feel the mortality of they say that the anticipation of death subconsciously drives us all to live life. And many people live to the extreme, adrenaline junkies. I was that way for decades,
Yeah.
you want to live life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like
mean, to me,
everybody
there was
says,
nothing.
yeah, if you can live like you're dying just for one day, it's
I
worth the
loved
whole
repelling.
ride.
Repelling was the coolest thing in the world, to be able just to throw myself over the side of a cliff and to rappel down. That in jumping out of a plane
Yeah,
is uh it's what they would really say. It's so stimulating, it's almost erotic.
absolutely. I
Does
know
that make
many.
sense?
Well, I have friends of mine, they're literally addicted to jumping out of planes. I said it's the best drug I've ever done in my life. Nothing
Yeah,
helps.
yeah.
They're literally, and they're
Yeah,
straight up, they're like, oh, dude, I'm addicted. I got to jump out of a
yeah.
plane at least once a month or I freak out. I was like, wow.
No, I can dig that. I mean, I can really understand a person's head on that.
That's what
Uh,
they say.
you know, and that what I think that they say that probably makes the essence of the moment of when death does come in, that it has to influence the anticipation. I don't know. Have you ever gone, what's the most dangerous thing that you have done?
Jumped off of a 200-foot cliff into Lake Roosevelt.
Did did you bungee or did you dive into
No,
it?
I jumped off the cliff and literally went into the water with just a hope and a prayer. I was climbing up to what was a jump zone. Well, we passed it and we didn't know, and we got to a position where there was no turning back. So
Yeah,
we were
because you know,
higher than we should have been. So I didn't know if I was going to live through that. So that was literally a leap of faith.
wow, that is intense. You know, when I used to get my Red Cross Lifesavers certification, you know, you have to do the jumping off the 10-meter board, and 200 feet.
Yeah,
That. Did you do it again?
never. I would never do that again. Oh my God, no way. No way. I didn't know
Yeah,
if we were going to live, Wayne, because the thing I was concerned about is when you jump off of something that high, you go down as deep. So you
some people
can't
are
get
saying that.
enough air to get back up
I
from the
listen.
water.
Yeah,
So
I
I
wouldn't do it.
I knew if when you punch that water, you have to bring your feet straight up to your head and start spinning in a ball, because if you don't slow down the depth of the speed, you won't make it up. So, and
Yeah,
I said, and
yeah.
as soon as you get the spin to stop, you need to follow the bubbles because you won't know which way to go. You need to follow the bubbles.
Jr.
So
says
I
I know
knew,
Lake Roosevelt. Yeah.
yeah, it was insanity. And I literally, we lived through it. We didn't die. It was great. But yeah, it was really scary. And like I said, that wasn't on purpose. I wouldn't have done that on purpose. So yeah, yeah.
Some people are saying that giving birth is a pretty dangerous thing. I would agree
I've
with
done that
that.
twice and with no medication. So let me tell you, that is true. You go into a different place, Wayne.
Oh,
Go into a
I
different place.
totally get that. I mean,
Yeah.
I've passed
Oh yeah.
kidney stones, and they say that that is probably as close as a man will get to experience childbirth.
I've heard that.
Um, and if that's what y'all are going through,
It's close. Yeah, but ours is worse. But yours is that's close, Wayne. Real close. I mean, real close.
but I can't help but not think of this, and you can certainly validate it, but what you're going through, what the woman through the miracle of birth is going through, that's a place no man can touch. See, that's the sacred place that no man can ever attack the divine feminine, because there is only that place that only women are allowed in.
We are literally the portals that bring souls
Yeah, yeah.
to this world.
I've
We
seen it.
are.
I've gone up the stairs, and there is, of course, this was in my travels, but in the astral realm, but I've seen this place that um it's a very sacred place. I mean, it is, again,
Yes,
yeah.
it is
And
power.
that's one of the things about our species, and the miracle that takes place. I don't know if this is replicated through the universe, but what our species can do, by the fact that, our species, you carry the embryo to the child within you, and that's still a miracle to me, just the
It is.
whole process. Who thought of this,
I don't know, Wayne. I've done it and it still blows my mind. And I've been through it and it still blows my mind. It is such a
Yeah,
profound thing to think about, that you can create a body for
yeah.
another soul to incarnate into this realm. We literally are the portals of life. It's it's
As
phenomenally
they say,
mind
we
blowing.
go to hell and back, and yeah, it's just
And what we go through to bring in these lives. I mean, many women die doing it.
yes,
We
yes.
sacrifice our own lives to bring forth another. It is a powerful thing.
My father, his mother died, giving him birth to
Uh-huh.
him.
Yeah.
And it said that he's passed over, but he carried that guilt, that he
Yeah.
he couldn't he couldn't shake it, all the way up, and well into his
Because that
80s.
would be so hard.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah,
so hard. That would really be
yeah.
tough.
And I think and as life went on, it's amazing, because siblings can be very cruel, that
Yeah.
they casted that guilt on him even more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing about our species. We can be so in awe of this thing that we can do, this miraculous bringing in souls or whatever we are coming into this realm. And yet, on the same hand, we can just be real a-holes across the board, you know?
See, and that's what you're here to do, is to understand and choose between positive and negative polarized experiences, and to experience the effects of those choices. Because nothing's real until you feel it. Like I said, I was told this is Harvard, and when you can get into these dense levels of matter, you learn at a level you can learn nowhere else. And it is because you don't remember that you don't die, and you don't remember who you are. That's what makes it so real. So, and the reality is so tied to the senses, and the senses make it feel so
But
powerful.
Trina, it feels so good being naughty.
Yes.
It
Yes.
yes.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's like, oh, I'm going to get that cookie when they're not looking.
Yeah, I remember a girl, I guess I was 17, and God, she was crazy. I mean, but I'm still some of the stuff. Debbie Van, I don't know if you're still alive or not, but thank you for the memories. I mean, I'm sorry. It's this girl was absolutely wild. And I'll be candid, it was some of the best sex I can remember. I mean, because she was a soul that there was no freaking limits.
Yeah.
And I mean, at times she scared me. I was like,
Yeah.
but what a spirit. I mean, what a
Absolutely.
spirit. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
the one who jumped off the 200-foot cliff with me. She had that same spirit, and thank God, because if she didn't, she would have died. So,
and that takes
yeah.
that takes, as Lou Reed would say, take a walk on the wild side, babe. That
Yeah,
means
she's
200
still
feet.
mad at me for that one. She's still mad at me for that one.
I mean, wow. Um, I'm serious. That I could see you though doing that.
Yeah.
Something
I,
inside of me, another person I could see that. Wait, did Debbie? Thanks, Nina. It be the truth. uh, and for some reason, when I think about the daring type, I think of Jenny,
yeah,
or Jennifer Roberts. I mean, yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
But you do a lot of I guess exploring, right? Lots of yeah.
Yeah, I
So
did
have
a
you
13-mile hike down to Havasupai Falls when I was 10 years old. I've been doing it my whole life.
wow.
Yeah.
We're coming
Jumping on
down there,
waterfalls and swimming behind waterfalls and exploring, and I rode my dirt bike since I was 5 years old. And
well, we're
yeah,
planning to come down to your area this fall because we're going to
great.
do the Sedona thing. And,
Oh,
you know, then we plan on going out and seeing Miss Marsha.
hey.
So, and I think by then, maybe the craziness, will be abated that maybe we all can just crash over at Marsha's house.
That would be wonderful. She's
Yes.
got those cabin rentals right by the Crystal Lake there.
Oh, no, no, no. We're going to stay in her house. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of it.
Marsha's going, you what?
She's like, Wayne,
Don't you be
I can
doing
only fit
this.
so many on the houseboat, and I can only fit so many in my house. So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
And she does have the houseboat, so
yes,
that'd
she
be kind of
does.
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Jennifer is saying, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I got a flamethrower for my birthday.
Right on.
Now, Jenny, that is something I have never heard anyone getting. The flamethrower. That is cool.
Yeah, I thought our potato launchers were cool.
Oh,
Jenny,
yeah.
you one-upped us, baby. That's
Jeez. I mean, a
awesome.
freaking flamethrower. Yeah, I love it. Guy,
She's
yeah,
be flame throwing. I'll be axe throwing. Oh, we are some
we'll
team.
have a party. I'm
Love
really,
it.
I think that this fall we will be able to literally, I think we can plan a caravan, showing up at
Abs-
Marsha's house.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We won't
Absolutely.
stay at Marsha's house, but you know,
Yeah. I'll rent
yeah.
us a big ass motorhome. I can
Oh,
accommodate
that's what
several.
we'll be coming in. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's just
yeah,
like we
yeah.
RV up, man. It's all good.
All right, folks, I planted the seed. Hey, Marsh,
I'm up for it. Let's do
I
it.
haven't seen her in the chat room, but Marsha, when you're listening to this,
She'll be all over it. She'll be like, come on down.
we're coming. We're coming.
Yep.
Glad to see what we can do about getting some of our friends on the other side of the pond. We'll have to look into that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she lives right there. I think it's right there in the northeast part of Arkansas. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're right there. Very beautiful, by the way. We're looking at land around there, and it is quite beautiful. It really
You know
is.
what, Wayne? That's the Wizard of Oz. That's the Wizard of Oz land right there. That's where Dorothy went when she needed to get back home because that's Emerald City. That's where the
Ooh,
biggest
I like
emerald
that idea.
crystal.
That's right,
That's
because
where it is. It's a
she
that's
got the
where the Wizard of
crystal.
Oz. That's the
Yeah.
whole story comes from Arkansas. That's what it
See,
is.
there we're going.
Yeah, that's Emerald City. That's why it's got so many crystals and gemstones.
Sometimes we just have to go back, folks.
Mhm. Yes.
Well, our hour is come and gone. Wow, what a time.
Flew, Wayne.
This was cool. I mean, it feels like I've literally been here 5 minutes.
Right. I'm like, that was really fast,
I mean,
Wayne.
it was like,
I was like,
wait a
what?
minute, we were just talking about,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really fast.
Oh
my gosh.
I'm just seeing what some of the people are here going.
So, guys, for this new eclipse and this lunar thing and all this, think about that we have an opportunity to recode the matrix with whatever you want. So, dream a really fabulous, fantastic, great dream. I mean, do whatever your wildest imagination could be for the best, most amazing, beautiful earth you could ever imagine. And literally just start shooting that into the matrix because this is something's going on with this eclipse. I feel it. It's very powerful. And I'm hearing dream weavers. It is time to weave the dream now. I'm hearing it. So
It's Susie's birthday too, I see as well. So
whose birthday?
Susie Q, I believe.
Susie Q. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So does anyone know when is the I haven't checked, I can look into it. When is the eclipse? Is it going to be visible here in North America?
I think it's fully visible in Australia. So our Aussie friends are going to get to see it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. And folks, I mean, this is the time to really be meditating. When these eclipses happen, that energy just, we may not be in the central point, but
Wayne,
the energy is
I'm
still there.
seeing that this act at this thing that's happening right now for whatever reason, this is like the start of the Aquarian age. This is going to be like the first wave of intense hit. And we have
Excellent.
5 big balls just come out of the sun. Did you see that?
Well, I know that there were 5 CMEs that
Yeah, Yellow Rose for Texas. She did just a picture and it was like fireballs coming out of the sun. She's like, I've never seen this before. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So this is
Sun
like
is waking up, folks.
Yeah, this is like
interesting.
things are getting ready to shift into the Aquarian full energy. And this is an energy of I know. So no more belief. Now it's time to dive into you and start to see the mysteries and the information that you hold within you, because nobody will ever teach you as powerfully or as profoundly as your own self.
Excellent. Listen, we love y'all.
Yeah.
All of y'all, all you birthday girls.
Yes. And boys, Brian.
And boys, I know that, but it seems like the girls are having most of the birthdays. So Susie Q, again, happy birthday to you, and along with Miss Jenny. And tonight, make sure to tune in 9:00 Eastern, Raised by Giants, Ryder Lee, Miss Trina. So talk to the planets.
Yeah, we're talking about the solar flash and all this different potentials that are coming. So it's very interesting because we're looking at it from a few different
Something's
places.
coming.
It definitely is, and I'm super excited. So guys, don't be afraid. Just get ready.
No fear.
Yeah, get ready for it and think about it. This could be the best thing ever.
I say charge your fear and it will never come near. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Much love to you, and see you be on Friday night. Are y'all going to be on that? I know this weekend is a holiday weekend.
Yes, I think so. Friday night on Andromeda Celestial Gateway and the Andromeda 7 Celestial Gateway, And then Saturday night with Milky Way Soul Tribe with Robert B.
Well, yeah, it's good. Good. He had a good show last week. So good. We'll tune in.
Yes, he
All
did.
right,
I had to go
everyone.
to a birthday party. Speaking of old memories and friends, I was with my friends from high school and Wayne. They broke out the chainsaw and had the ice luge. It was a good time.
I love this. I love this.
I
Time
don't
to
drink, so
party.
I poured, but it's fun to pour.
I love it. This group knows how to party.
Absolutely.
I love it. All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Miss Trina, always an honor and a pleasure, my
Always an
dear.
honor
Thank
with
you
you.
for gracing us. It's
Thank
wonderful to have you. It's just love it.
I love you back. Thank you.
All right. I'm Rubber, and
You're glue.
and everything
Bounce
we
off
say
me, sticks to you.
sticks on us,
That's right. We'll share the love. We'll
All
stick with each
right.
other.